Good morning, boys. Yesterday I have just started the chapter number 1 where I have discussed only the concepts of scarcity and choice. Today I want to continue that. I told you yesterday scarcity implies lack of supply relative to demand, and since the resources of the countries are scarce. There is scarcity of resources in the economy. That's why the choice comes. I have also given you one example that, for example, you want to consume the commodities A, B, C, D, but the resources of the countries are not so enough. The resources allow me to produce any two commodities. So for that purpose, now you have to make a choice. For example, I am planning or I have made a choice that okay, I want to produce A and C. This is the problem of choice. And now the question comes, if I have to make such a choice, then on what basis that choice will be done? Here comes the necessity of economics. Economics helps us to make such choice. I think now it is clear why the subject economics is important. We study economics because it helps us to make such a choice when the resources of the countries are scarce, they are limited. Now, since these choices are made by us, human beings, that's why economics is known as a social science. Remember this word, economics is a social science. It is a social science because it works within the society. If the society is not there, economics is not there. Economics cannot be applied. That's why economics is known as a social science. Clear? Next comes the definition. We understood what is economics all about. Now, how I can define economics? Remember one thing, there is no unique definition of economics. There is no unique definition. Different economists have defined economics according to their perspective. For example, the first economist who is known as the father of economics, Adam Smith. The name is Adam Smith. Adam Smith, who is known as the father of economics, he defined economics from the wealth perspective. That's why his definition of economics is known as wealth definition. His famous book is also known as Wealth of Nations, which was published in 1776. Remember this year. His famous book is Wealth of Nations, where he defined economics. His definition is known as wealth definition of economics. Similarly, another economist, Alfred Marshall. He has provided the welfare definition of economics. Another economist, Robbins, Robbins. Robbins, he has given the scarcity definition of economics. So in this way, different economists have defined economics according to their own way. In your book, you will find all these definitions, all these names and their definitions. Please remember these names. Understood? Now, I come to the next point, that is how the economics, subject economics can be divided. Boys, broadly speaking, economics can be divided as positive economics and normative. positive and normative. Now, what is the difference? Positive economics implies that I am describing what it is. For example, if I describe a student how he is behaving in the class, I am just describing that. That is positive economics. For example, another example I am giving. I'm explaining, I'm just describing how a consumer is behaving, how he is buying the commodities from the market, or a farm, how he is producing a commodity with the help of different inputs. Then it is positive economics. It's all about the description, how it is going on, how the economic agents are behaving. That is positive economics. Then what is normative? Normative economics implies how an economic agent should behave. For example, if I tell you that as a student in the class you should behave in this way, then it is not positive, it is normative. If as a consumer I indicate that the consumer should behave in this way, the consumer should buy these commodities, or if I say a farm should produce these commodities with the help of this sets of inputs, then it is a normative. Understood? Therefore, positive economics implies how the economic agent is behaving, and normative economics implies how the economic agent should behave. Now, what is economic agent? It is not, I think it is not understood. I am going to explain it. Before that, this is one division of economics, positive, normative. Another definition, another classification of economics is as micro and macro. What is microeconomics and what is macroeconomics? Microeconomics discusses about the behavior of any one particular individual or farm. For example, if I explain that how one consumer is consuming a commodity, not all, only one, then it is micro. If I explain how one farm is producing the commodity, then it is micro. On the other hand, if I discuss some issues which are relevant to the society as a whole, then it is macro. For example, if I say discuss the problem of unemployment, if I discuss the problem of national income, if I discuss the problem of inflation, poverty, they are not related to a particular individual only. It is related to the whole country. This is macroeconomic issues. Understood? So micro implies individualistic approach, whereas macro is related to the whole society. So these classifications are done. First, it can be divided as positive normative, and then it can be divided as micro and macro. I should point out here that yesterday I have written that you have economic theory, then you have Indian economics, then you have statistics. In that economic theory portion, we will study some topics of microeconomics, some topics of macro, and then I will go on. Then I will start those chapters. You can easily understand which is the microeconomic topic and which is the macroeconomic topic. Clear? The last thing for today is economic agent. Who are the economic agent? Who are the economic agents? Now there are three economic agents in the society. Remember this. There are three economic agents in the society. The first one is called household. The first one is household. Who are the household? We the consumer. consumer. What is the activity of the role of the household? Household consumes a number of goods and services. You look at your daily life, you consume food, you consume medicine, you consume coffee, you consume pen, you consume mobile. Remember, this consume does not mean eating. Consume implies to derive some utility, satisfaction out of that. So in our daily life, we consume a number of commodities. At the same time, we also consume a number of services. For example, right now, you are consuming the service of a teacher. When you feel sick, you take the service of a doctor. So, in our daily life, we not only consume a number of goods, we consume a number of services also. This is the first role of household. A household is a consuming unit. It consumes a number of goods and services. But here the story is not end. This is one role of the household, that is, it is a consuming unit. At the same time, household also supplies a number of factors of production to the producing unit farm. For example, we are working, some of us are working in a factory, so we are supplying labor. Some of us are the owner of a farm. They are supplying the entrepreneurship. So this is the dual role of the household. On one hand, it is a consuming unit. Other hand, it supplies the basic factors of production to farm. So remember, household is one economic agent. Another economic agent is the farm. Who is a farm? The basic identity is farm is a producing unit. It produces a number of goods and services. So the first role of the farm, it is a producing unit. It produces a number of goods for the household sector and also for the government. So it is farm, a producing unit. But here also the story doesn't end. Here there is another role of the farm, that is, it consumes all those factors of production which are supplied by the household. So household is giving labor, and who is taking that? Farm. So farm is the consumer of all those factors of production which are supplied by the household sector. So household has a dual role, farm also have a dual role. The last economic agent is the government. Government in any society acts as a guardian. It is at the top of all household and farms. The basic objective of the government is to make or to maximize the welfare, social welfare of the society. So I can't write here, just like here, just remember household and farm, they play dual role in the society, and above them there is government. Government is there at the top of household and farm. The objective of the government is to maximize social welfare in the society. I think it is clear. Today, up to this. Next day we will continue that. Thank you.